All right, welcome everybody to the 5th episode of We Inside Wii 2. Now, what I'm going to be discussing here is things that we know about Wii 2, or assuming about Wii 2, or just pure, good old-fashioned Dr. Trey speculation. HD, confirmed. This is confirmed by pretty much everybody at Nintendo. It's going to be HD, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. HD support. Next, we just found out it's going to be 3D compatible. Now, it said that it's going to be 3D compatible, but right after saying it was going to be 3D compatible, they said that they're not sure how many people are going to own 3D TVs by then. So it's going to be 3D compatible, but don't expect any or a lot of launch titles to use 3D. They might be playing the waiting game again, just like they did with HD. This is speculation on my part, but I think it's pretty much a given. Wii 2 will have a hard drive. How do I know it'll have a hard drive? It's because Nintendo filed a patent for a hard drive about 3 years ago, and the 3DS doesn't have a hard drive. Nothing else has a hard drive. I wonder what has a hard drive. So we got HD 3D hard drive. What else? What am I missing here? We got, price. $299.99. You're like, no, $299.99. You've seen the 3DS price, it's $250. The system's gonna be $299. How do I know it's gonna be $299? Because even if the 3DS didn't exist, Wii 2 would be $299, because Nintendo's already figured out and is quoted saying that, wow, we kind of wish we could have sold the first Wii at $299 because it would have still sold. Now, Wii 2 is going to be at least $299. I think it's going to be $299 exactly, or $299.99, whatever, exactly. But another reason is not just that they can sell at that price, it's because Wii 2 is going to be more advanced for its time than Wii was. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo wants its graphics back. Oh, Nintendo does not care about graphics. Yes, they do. Nintendo likes graphics just as much as anybody else. The reason why Wii and DS did not have top-of-the-line graphics is because they were experiments. Experiments. Okay, they were testing the market with these systems. Okay? Now, especially considering the GameCube was in 3rd place, if they would have, it would have been horrible if it bombed. Add to the fact that Miyamoto was quoted saying, if we had put 360 graphics in the Wii at launch, we would have had to have sold it for at least $450 to make a profit. And you know Nintendo always makes a profit. So yeah, it would have been at least $450. Would you play $450 for the Wii? Maybe, but most people wouldn't have. Just like most people didn't pay $500 for a PS3. Now, next, launch date. Now, I'm thinking that E3 2011, Nintendo may actually either show the first hint or even give us the code name of the system. But it will not launch in 2012. It will launch in 2013 or 2014. Yeah. Next part, the graphics chip. The graphics chip, now this is good old Dr. Trey speculation, but the graphics chip is not going to be made by ATI or AMD, period. And the reason why I know this is because for the last 2 generations, every time Nintendo has had a partnership with ATI/AMD now, they've announced that they were working on the graphics chip 2 years after the previous system came out. So when the Nintendo 64 came out in '96 and '98, Artix, which was their name at the time before they were called ATI, announced that they were working on the GameCube. When the GameCube came out, 2 years later, they announced that they were working on what would be the Wii. Another company is making it. And it could even still be the same company that's making that made the 3DS graphics chip. So I wouldn't put it by them, but it's definitely a new maker for the graphics chip. Now the CPU is probably still being made by IBM. The first rumors, the very first rumors of Wii 2 and all the other next gen systems was that all three systems were going to be using a variation of, well, pretty much Cell 2. A variation of the Cell processor for all three systems. That's another point I'm going to, as far as Nintendo wanting its graphics back and it being a pretty high-end system, because they have they've always had the money, but now they have the money to do this now. Wii 2 is going to be a surefire success. No matter what they do, this thing is going to sell. So they might as well put the graphics in there because the risk factor is now gone. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And they probably shouldn't assume. Everybody seems to assume that when Wii 2 comes out, all your virtual console games from the Wii, you'll just be able to just switch over to Wii 2. Hopefully, but maybe not. I don't know if you guys read your little, oh, well, I know you didn't, because if you're assuming this, when you first sign up on the Wii to download virtual console games, download WiiWare games, there's a electric contract that you have to sign. I bet most of you just scroll down and hit accept, give me games. If you read the contract, it states, none of us, including you, none of us own the rights or own these games. We are paying for the right to lease these games. So now, virtual console games, will they be downloadable on Wii 2? I don't know, because Nintendo could probably make some more money putting them, saying they're HD remastered or 3D HD remastered. So I don't know. Don't assume. People, don't assume. Well, anyway, this includes, I'm tripping today. This concludes the 5th edition of Wii Inside. Thank you for watching. See you next time.